Hello, everybody. Welcome to Northwest Magic. My name is Howie.
I'm Levi, your favorite one.
Oh.
We're talking about the new colorless Precon. We want to upgrade
first
it.
colorless Precon.
Yeah, the
Ever.
new and first.
Ever.
With the face commander, we're going to be talking about Zhulodok Void Gorger. We're going to do 10 cuts, 10 upgrades with this guy in mind. This is going to be the commander we're choosing. So just a quick reminder, he costs 5 generic and 1 colorless pip. He's a legendary creature Eldrazi. Colorless spells you cast from your hand with mana value 7 or greater have Cascade, Cascade.
That's awesome.
That's 2 Cascades, baby.
I love it.
And I also love it, which that means it's 2 times for the 2 Cascades.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Okay. Anyway.
What's your first ad, Levi?
We're adding today. Okay, so we're going to start with adding. I, for one, am a huge fan of Sensei's Divining Top. I think it works really well. Almost in any deck, but especially in this one. It's just a 1-mana artifact that costs 1. You look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You can tap it and draw a card, then put Sensei's Divining Top on top of its owner's library. So this deck is going to just be limited to that colorless, the colorless color, right? So you're not going to be getting a ton of card draw with this. Sensei's Divining Top at least helps you get there. And, just
and the deck comes with Mystic Forge.
That's exactly right. That's why that's also a big one. Mystic Forge, along with Sensei's Divining Top.
And Ugin, the Ineffable. He makes your colorless spells 2 less to cast. And so with those 3 cards put together, you just draw your whole library. And you have Crashing Drawbridge and Lightning Greaves, so you can just give everything haste. You swing in, you win. We're gonna start with an infinite combo. Top 10
yeah, that's
ads,
yeah.
But it's totally worth it just to add this. It works perfect by itself, but if the pieces align, you win. And sometimes we all need that panic button, I win the game.
It's pretty solid, and I think personally, in a deck with a really high-end mana curve, you're already going to be maybe a little bit of a disadvantage. So I don't think throwing an infinite in there is too bad.
Nah,
not too bad at all.
Nah,
you're still playing a very flavorful deck. If you won with that, I wouldn't be mad.
No.
Cool. So that's our first ad. What else we got?
So I want to add. I just want everybody you play against to not like your deck. So we're going to add Void Winnower. It's a 9-mana Eldrazi. It's an 11/9. So this will it will work with your commander. Your opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana costs. 0 is even.
Yeah.
And your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana costs. So you cripple them. You literally make it so that they can only use half of their deck and block with half of their creatures.
Exactly.
Tokens can't block. So like the big chump blockers that people have, they're not there to block anymore. They're scared.
Yeah, and especially when you have big creatures like all these Eldrazi's on the field, you need to get through, and Void Winnower just gets in there. I almost called her Void Widower.
Widower.
Yeah, so very good card, very good. All that fun stuff. I want to get through a little bit of the slightly boring stuff. We're gonna add a Stone Speaker Crystal. It taps to add 2 colorless, so it already refunds you 2, and then it is 2 and tap to sacrifice it and exile any number of target players' graveyards, and then you also get to draw a card
at instant speed.
Very good speed. Yeah, this just fits a lot of things. This is a solid mana rock as well as some graveyard hate, which is just always nice to have in your deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a similar vein, we're going to add Kozilek's Channeler. It's a 5-mana Eldrazi that taps for 2 mana. That's all you need to know. It works with Eldrazi stuff and it gives you mana. It just fits.
if it's a 4/4 and it can get cascaded into, which won't be,
Oh yeah.
it won't feel too horrible. I mean, you probably want to hit some pretty good cascades, but I don't know. I wouldn't hate
Some of your
cascading into
cascades
this
are gonna end up being mana rocks, and this is just like a
bigger one.
mana flesh.
Mana flesh. Yes, indeed.
What else?
Let's look at Urza's Incubator. It's a 3-mana artifact. It enters the battlefield. You choose a creature type, and then creature spells of that chosen type cost 2 less to cast. This is just another thing to get these Eldrazi's out, get them out onto the field. It's a little bit cheaper because you're gonna need help casting these things.
And notably, even if you make the spells cheaper, they still count as 7+ mana spells if they already are.
Yes.
So they'll still cascade, and work real well.
Yeah. You want to be able to cast these big boys because that makes Kozilek, the Great Distortion, 2 mana cheaper, and that could be 2 turns quicker than you would initially be able to get him out, which
Or more.
a lot can happen in 2 turns. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I want to add Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. He's a 10 mana, 12/12 legendary Eldrazi. When you cast this spell, draw 4 cards. That's on cast. And he also has Annihilator 4, which is very backbreaking for most decks, unless you're playing against a token deck. Very powerful. Very good.
You put some booties on him, some Swiftfoot booty, some Lightning Greaves on him. He's zooming, baby.
Boots with the fur.
Yeah, he's terrifying. He is terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And if you're against somebody that's milling you out, if he gets milled into your library, or to your graveyard,
he helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goes right back in. Kind of mitigates that for a while at least until I find a workaround.
He's pretty solid. I do declare he is indeed pretty solid. Let's talk about Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger.
God.
He himself gives you, he's a 10 mana, 10/10. When you cast him, exile 2 target permanents.
He's
on cast, so which works with Cascade. He's indestructible, and when he attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of their library.
That's on attack. He doesn't even need to connect.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
You just say you lose a 5th of your deck. I don't care what it was. You don't get it anymore.
You just don't get it, baby.
That's right.
And he also is he's some removal. He's spot removal.
Oh yeah.
As well. So, which you need.
And he can hit lands, which not a lot of cards do.
Yeah.
Very flexible.
Yeah, he was one of those kind of auto includes for us.
The other Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, is also going in. He's 11 mana. When you cast him, destroy target permanent, indestructible, Annihilator 4. It's the best of both worlds. You blow something up, and then you make them sacrifice some stuff later. He is crippling also. Oh yeah.
He just goes down and he's like, boom, two things gone. Oh, I'm attacking, another 4 things gone. That's 6 things.
Oh yeah.
It's
very good.
Scary. He also has the same thing.
Go into the graveyard, anti-mill, this and that.
Yeah, he's just a solid card. He's just fun to just slap down. Be like, yo, what's up? What's up?
Here's my skull face, man. Look at him.
So,
2 more?
It wouldn't be a colorless Eldrazi deck without Emrakul in there, would it? The Promise End. 13 mana. This is the one that is not banned. He costs 1 less to cast for each card type among cards in your graveyard. So he's got a little bit of built-in, help to cast him. And then when you cast him, you gain control of target opponent during that player's next turn. After that turn, that player takes an extra turn. Flying, trample, protection from instants. A lot of the times when you play this guy, you're usually in a pretty good position. You probably want to play this late game to the point where that person you're controlling is probably not going to have a second turn at that point.
No,
you're going to make sure they die.
Broke them. imagine they have something like, oh gosh, Ashnod's Altar or Phyrexian Altar. You just sacrifice all their creatures.
Yep.
And if they don't, you just attack into your Emrakul and block with their best thing.
Yeah, just cripple them.
Yeah, they're just gone. It's over.
Yeah, so even if they do get a second turn, they might
it's not
really
matter.
Not have much.
The second turn to them feels like I destroyed your board and you drew one.
Yeah. So
the last ad of the deck is a land. It's Eye of Ugin, the most important land probably in a Eldrazi deck. It says colorless Eldrazi spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. It's not even a tap ability, it's just static. That's incredible. It also has 7 untap to search your library for a colorless creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. That also doesn't sacrifice the land. You can do that as many times as you want to pay for.
Oh, yes.
Incredible card. A little pricey, but the power level of your deck will go up just by having this card in there. It's really good.
Yeah, Eye of Ugin is super great, and it also is just one of those ones where you just gotta slap it in there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I believe
what is a card
10 ads
that you wanted to cut?
Okay, folks. So what I was telling earlier is that we're focusing on the Cascade part of this. So,
oh yeah.
While some cards with X in them, where they just cost X or XX, can be good for cascading, to start off with a cascade and then cascade stuff, they are not good to cascade into, though, because unfortunately,
because they're just 0, you can't pay into X in that situation.
You can't. So we decided that we should just cut them. It doesn't feel good to cascade into them. I don't think it's horrible. Like, some of these are pretty solid cards, but if we're playing Cascade, we should just avoid the X.
I think we can just group all 4 of them together and say that these don't do
Honestly.
anything. We cascade into them.
Yeah, so we are cutting Omarthus, Ghostfire Initiate, Hangerback Walker, Endless One, and Stonecoil Serpent.
All of these are cool cards individually, but in this situation where we want to be cascading, it is not it.
Yeah, and this
is not what the kids talk about.
Yeah, like, I could justify putting like 1, maybe 2 in there, but in my experience with Cascade, I feel like anytime I've put X spells in there, it's like, okay, I'm gonna cascade. Okay, just get my X spell. Cool, nothing happens. And if you're cascading, a big piece of it is that you need to hit something. You need to. It's important.
You want that value.
Yeah, because you're just spending a lot of mana on something. So, yeah, not horrible cards. Really are not. I think they could work better in a different commander, but yeah.
Oh yeah. A Howie Donnelly hot take is that Metal of Work Colossus is a garbage card and you should cut it from every deck you ever make. It's 11 mana, 10/10. Oh, that sounds pretty cool, right? It costs X less to cast, where X is the total mana value of non-creature artifacts you control. And you can sacrifice 2 artifacts to return him from your graveyard to your hand. You're gonna... Yeah, he'll give you the cascade stuff, but it's got no evasion, it's got no flying, no trample, no nothing, no haste. It's just a vanilla 10/10 when it's on the board, and nothing feels worse than that.
Yeah.
Just to get chump blocked by a 1/1. Ooh, super fun. I don't think it's worth it. Even if you can get a good cascade off of it every once in a while. Every once in a while it will do you good, but we don't want every once in a while. We want consistency.
Yeah, and that's something that Cascade decks kind of look for, is some consistency. Because whether you like it or not, they tend to play themselves a little bit. This one, I think, has some more flavor to it out of like other ones. So, but yeah, you hit that on the mark there, Howie. We also decided to take out Fire Shrieker, 3 mana equipment that for 2 to equip the creature has double strike. It definitely, you can throw that on when you're, you can throw that on an Emrakul, because what is he? He's a 13/13, double that, you know, that's nice. That is nice. You can take people out of the game with that.
I'd rather have it in a deck where it can go on my commander and kill with commander damage. So that's just going to bring us from 7 to 14. It puts them on a 2-turn clock, but it's not... Like if Kozilek, the Great Distortion, was your commander, throw it on there. That's 24 commander damage. Easy.
Yeah.
Here, not so much.
Yeah, doesn't quite work with the more cascade focus.
It has some weight to it, but I don't think it pulls its own weight, if you know what I mean.
I feel you there. What else we got?
Soul of New Phyrexia is at a really awkward part in this deck where it's 6 mana, so it does not cascade into anything. Also has Trample, and it's a 6/6 artifact creature. It has 5 permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. That's a neat ability, but you don't want to be holding up 5 mana for that. You're going to be using almost all of your mana
almost every single turn.
Yeah. And it also has 5 exile it from your graveyard, and permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. It's the same thing, but once from your graveyard. I don't know how this is going to get into your graveyard on the way there, so I think it's in a really awkward spot. It might have a better home in like an artifact creature deck, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make this into the real Eldrazi Unbound deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, holding up 5 mana in a deck like this where a lot of, you know, your top end is like 10 mana a lot. You're not going to be holding up 5 mana most of the time, so...
No.
Yeah, I agree. He's awkward. He's really not terrible, but he is a little bit awkward.
That's the best way to put it. It's just awkward.
Yeah, kind of like me. Not bad, but awkward. I want to also... We took out Investigator's Journal. It's just a 2 mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, it comes in with a number of suspect counters on it equal to the greatest number of creatures a player controls. And then for 2 and a tap, remove a suspect counter from Investigator's Journal, draw a card. For 2, sacrifice Investigator's Journal, draw a card. So this one is kind of weird because it's an early play, it's not a very expensive play, but you also don't want to play it too early because you want creatures to target, and you're probably not going to be the person with a lot of creatures.
I don't like
to add the counters, so...
I don't like the mana rate on this either. So at the very earliest, you have to invest 4 mana to draw 1 card. Next is a total of 6 mana to draw 2 cards, 8 mana to draw 3. There is no point where this rate is going to be good on your mana investment. I do not like it. Yeah. I would not put this in any deck. I would say this is worse than Metalwork Colossus.
Yeah, if it didn't... And Howie hates that card.
I hate this card more. It's making me red.
Yeah, you'll probably have you should get a shirt that says, like, ask me about Metalwork Colossus.
No. I don't want to talk about the MC. It's not real, dude.
I don't want to talk about him.
I hate it. If anyone talks to me about it, I'm going to say, stop.
You're going to be wearing it, and then
I'm calling the cops.
And then it'll be visibly annoyed.
I'm calling the cops.
And people will be like, wait, why are you wearing that, then, if you want me to ask? I mean,
point is, it's a bad card. You know what else is not so good? Transmogrifying Wand. It's 3 mana for artifact. Enters the battlefield with 3 charge counters on it. It has 1 tap to remove a charge counter from it. Destroy target creature. Its controller creates a 2/4 white Ox creature token. Activate it only anytime you can cast a sorcery. I'm not a fan of sorcery speed removal. And again, it's a lot of investment for something, and you can do it only 3 times.
Yeah. This one I was like slightly torn on because you're limited to the colorless pool, and there's not a ton of spot removal. This is really telegraphed and just not super amazing just card in general. And yeah, you can only do it 3 times.
Yeah, and we added Ulamog and Ulamog. So
yeah, we added Ulamog and Ulamog.
Both Ulamogs.
Ulamai, if you will.
Ulamay. They do great.
Ulamai, if you will.
We don't need no wands. This isn't Harry Potter. We're here to void the world or whatever these things do. Gorge.
Yeah, we're here to gorge the void. We're not here to live in a closet. So.
Yeah. Under the stairs. That's not what this is about.
Stairs.
Catch me on that Strixhaven Harry Potter secret layer or something. But that's not this deck.
You just spoke it into existence. And then, honestly, the final one is just Temple of the False God. We decided to cut 1 land. Normally, I want to say this on record, normally we cut things to about 35 lands. In this deck, we did not do that. We kept it at that 38 lands threshold. We could have.
Really has. It cares about things that cost 7 or more. Usually, I only have 1 or 2 things that cost 7 or more in my deck, but in this video alone, we added 5. That's a lot. Plus what's already in the deck. It's got a high mana curve, so we need that mana. We need to be able to draw the lands.
Yeah, I would say if you're piloting this deck, just by looking at it, you should definitely. I think a big piece of this deck's gonna really come from your opening hand, like a lot of the success. You really need to find something to ramp with. And you have to have a pretty solid opening hand. And Temple of the False God's bad for opening hand.
Yeah. It's a dead card for probably about half the game. I don't like it.
Yeah. If it tapped for maybe 1 colorless and came in tapped.
Yeah. Sure. If it tapped for a colorless and then gave you 2 mana later, that'd be cool. There is a land that does that, except for you need 7 lands first. It's called some other card that we didn't put on this list. Thank you guys for watching. We made the Eldrazi Unbound Precon into an actual Eldrazi deck.
Yeah. Yes, one that some people may say it's impossible, but we did it.
We did it. We did what wizards could not.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks. Like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
We're trying to become a pillar in the community. And the more you support us, the more we can get. Quicker we can get you gameplay. You know what I mean?
The more we can get quickly.
The thing we all really care about. The more we can quickly get quickly. Thanks and see ya.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
I love you all.
Sure.